Vienna is magical any time of year, but during the Christmas season, it feels like a fairy tale. With Christmas lights throughout the city, seasonal concerts, and of course, Christmas markets, you'll feel in the holiday spirit in no time. Many of the markets are conveniently located next to some of Vienna's most famous sites, so they're easy to combine with your usual tourist itinerary. In this video, we'll share 9 Christmas markets and what we learned from our visit. The Stephansdom Cathedral towers above the city and is where we'll find our first Christmas market, the Stephansplatz Christmas Market. We ended our walking tour here, and after checking out the inside of the cathedral, visiting the crypt, and climbing the South Tower, we were ready for some shopping and food. The market opens at 11 a.m. and closes at 9 p.m. each day, except it closes early at 4 p.m. on the 24th of December and at 7 p.m. on the 25th. Visiting earlier in the day and on a weekday had its benefits, since later at night it was extremely crowded. It's a medium-sized market with around 40 stalls, but with a good variety of handmade goods, decorations, and food. We ate a bowl of beef goulash and a bread bowl here, and it was delicious. We saw the same stand at a few other markets as well. The mug this year was a red boot with the cathedral and other Christmas motifs like trees and gifts. This market is right next to the lights on both Graben and Karlsplatz, so if you'll be walking those streets, it's an easy visit to include. We stopped by at night as well to see the cathedral lit up, but it was so crowded we didn't go back into the market. You can also see an Advent concert in the cathedral if that's something that interests you. Just an 8-minute walk away, you'll find another market in Amhof Square. With around 70 stalls in this historic square that was the center of medieval Vienna, the market has a great selection of unique art and handmade goods that we didn't see at any other markets. Many were larger ticket items like larger pottery and original artwork. They had 2 mugs. One was a dark navy blue with yellow stars and the name of the market and square in yellow. I found a picture of it on the market's website for you. I love the cute teal mug with sledding gnomes from a booth at the far end of the market, so of course we had to try some punch and kept the mug. At the markets in Vienna and many across Europe, each market has a unique mug or 2 that your warm drink like mulled wine, punch, or hot chocolate comes in. You pay a deposit, usually 4 to 5 euros, and you can either keep the mug or return it and get your deposit back. It's so fun to see everyone walking around the market sipping their drinks in cute mugs. This market is open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday through Sunday, with food and drinks served until 10 p.m. Basically just one street away is the Alt-Wiener Christkindlmarkt in Freyung Square. This market has around 60 stalls, and there's a good selection of handmade goods and decorations. With a very cute central shop with lots of ornaments and other decorations that makes this market very aesthetically pleasing. I did not like their mugs though, as they were solid colors and just had the name of the market in large print with a pine cone. They felt very basic and not fun. At this market, we bought a brezel, which is a pretzel, but it was softer and sweeter since it was covered in sugar and filled with Nutella. We saved it and ate it for breakfast for 2 days after since it was so large, so for 6 euros, I felt like it was a pretty good deal. The market is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. These 3 markets are all within a half mile of each other, so it's easy to visit all 3 while walking through the inner city of Vienna. The next 3 markets are along the Ring or the Ringstrasse. These wide roads that circle the inner city used to be the outer wall, but as the city grew, the wall was torn down and the roads were built along with many historical sites like the Rathaus and Parliament buildings. The Christkindlmarkt is the biggest and most well-known market in Vienna. It's held in front of the Ratplatz, or the beautiful city hall. There are almost 100 stalls with the usual food, crafts, and decorations, and we saw quite a bit of overlap with many of the other markets. I did buy a German-style nativity at a stand I didn't see at any other markets, and it was a great price, probably half or a third of the price of similar nativities we saw in Bruges last year. We also picked up a cute rolling pin as a gift for a family member who loves to cook and bake. We ate arancini and shared a chimney cake with Nutella inside. The market is worth it for the stunning backdrop and all the extras besides the usual shopping and food. There's a beautiful skating rink and path, and I wish we had time to skate, but I was so tired when we went and there was a bit of a long line, so I thought we could come back another day, but never did. There's also a carousel, Ferris wheel, lights, and a nativity display by local artists. The mug there this year is red with the Rathaus on it. The market was busy on a weekday night, but doable. Weekends will likely be even more crowded, so definitely try and do this one on a weekday if possible. Hours for the market are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and they close early at 6:30 p.m. on December 24th.
This town, 'cause I see you in every corner.
The next market along the ring is at the Maria-Theresien-Platz. To be honest, this was my least favorite market we visited, mainly because it was so crowded. Located between the magnificent Natural History Museum and the Art History Museum with an impressive statue of Empress Maria Theresa in the middle, there are around 70 booths and not much room for walking. We visited on a Saturday afternoon around 2 or 3 p.m., and due to its location next to two popular museums, there were crowds going in and out of the museums who all probably thought, we're already here, let's check out the market, which, to be fair, we were at the Hofburg Palace complex in the Weinmuseum Welt across the street and had the same idea. There was a great selection of handmade goods and food, and we tried a langos, which is a huge piece of fried dough completely covered in garlic. It was a lot of garlic, so if you like garlic, I'm sure you'll love it. It was cold out though, so about halfway through eating it, it almost felt frozen. It was fun to try, but probably not something I would get again. There are a few different mugs at this market, all boot-shaped. They had a red and white one at the stand selling drinks, but they also had a stall where you could just buy the mug, and they also had purple and a gold version as well. The market is open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, and closes earlier on the 24th through the 31st.
Gotta find someplace new to be alone. You'll be here with your friends and your family, all the love.
Moving along the ring into my favorite market, we visited the Art Advent at the Karlsplatz. Located in the park around the Karlskirche, the market has a specific focus on handmade goods. There are some specific requirements to participate, like they must be based in Austria and the applicant must make the items themselves. This means you'll find a lot of unique items you won't find at other markets in the over 75 stalls. Every stall we saw was unique to this market, and we didn't see them anywhere else. There's also a children's area in the center, in the front of the church, where kids were playing in giant piles of straw and watching the goats and sheep. There were a lot of local families there on a Saturday night, and while it was busy, it didn't feel too crowded, and we easily found a spot to sit while we had a drink. The mug was so cute, I had to get one with delicious hot chocolate that was so good we went back for another. At the drink booth we went to, they were so friendly, and it just seemed like everyone was having a great time. There were a few less food options than other markets, although definitely more unique food than usual as well. The market is only open from noon to 8 p.m. I didn't realize they closed that early, so I unfortunately missed out on buying anything since I wanted to check out all the stalls first to see what I wanted most. Otherwise, I would have bought too much to fit in my suitcase. And the stalls started closing before I could go back to buy what I wanted, so don't make the same mistake as me. The last three markets we visited are a little farther from the city center of Vienna, starting with the Schönbrunn Christmas market in front of the Schönbrunn Palace. While the palace is a bit outside the city center, you'll most likely be making a trip out here to see the palace and the park anyway. And the market is definitely worth your time. With almost 100 stalls, the market was large, and we found lots of fun handmade goods and decorations. We bought some postcards, a magnet, and a tote bag from a local artist shop. I loved how these dried cinnamon and fruit decorations smelled, so I had to get some for me and as gifts. And we got a candle holder as a gift for my mother-in-law. There were a lot of food options, but we made the mistake of getting food before checking the entire market. I got spätzle, which is like little dumplings with lots of cheese and topped with crispy onion pieces. It was delicious and I would recommend it, but later I saw they had loaded baked potatoes and I would have rather had that. Nephi got pizza and it wasn't good at all, so we wouldn't recommend the pizza. He later saw schnitzel, which he would have rather tried. They had 2 mug options, both white, and one had Empress Sisi and the other had the Palace. You can see the one with Sisi a bit in this picture shared on the market's Facebook page. They also have a small ice skating rink, a Ferris wheel, carousel, curling lanes, and kids' tables and craft area. While here, don't forget to check out the park behind the palace for free. Walking up to the Gloriette for a view of the palace is definitely worth it. The market is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., but closes at 4 p.m. on the 24th of December, and after that, closes at 7 p.m. daily. The next market is also in front of a palace, but a bit closer to central Vienna. The Upper Belvedere Palace has a small market with around 40 stalls right next to it. The highlight is definitely the view of the market and the pond filled with stars with the palace in the background. I found this market rather standard though, and it's the only one we didn't buy anything at. The market was so meh in my mind, I can't even remember what the mug looked like, but I think it was red with the Belvedere Palace on it. The lines were long for food, although I did want to try the spiraled potatoes on a stick. The Belvedere Palace is home to the famous painting The Kiss by Klimt and is likely on your itinerary anyway, so it's worth a visit if you're in the area. But if you don't have a lot of time, it wouldn't be my first pick, which may be blasphemous to some people. If you do visit, don't miss the free gardens between the upper and lower palaces as well. The market is open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, and closes earlier from the 24th to the 31st of December.
Help me forget about you. I might be going to sunny California. I'll go surfing.
Our last market is the Hirschstetten Advent Market at the Hirschstetten Gardens. Located in a botanical garden, this market felt the most local and is about 30 or 40 minutes by public transportation from the city center. To be honest, the shopping selection wasn't my favorite, as it felt like the lowest quality goods. But we did buy a nutcracker ornament for my in-laws. There was a great food selection, and we tried some potato wedges, and the vendor filled the small bag until it was overflowing. The food and wares were definitely cheaper at this market than any other we went to. There's an indoor section, which is nice to escape the cold, but it felt more like a flea market with random items rather than artisan goods. So if you like thrift stores, this might be more your speed. In the same greenhouse as the indoor market, there was live music and a drink area, which was super fun as we watched everyone sing along, although we had no idea what was going on. They had a few mug options, but the one I got the best look at was white with a wreath of red flowers and the name of the market on it. The area is large, so it never felt crowded, even on a Friday night, and there are lots of lights and decorations outside, plus a really fun display in one of the other greenhouses using flowers, plants, and other decorations. There's also a carousel and other rides for the kids. While a bit out of the way, this market is worth it if you're looking for a more local and affordable experience with additional activities besides just shopping and food. But it is only open Thursday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All those memories of you, they taunt me, but they're all I have left since you've gone.
There are even more markets and holiday activities to do in Vienna, but mixed with other tourist activities since this was our first visit, this was all we had time for over 3 days. Some additional tips for visiting Christmas markets in Vienna this year: make sure to bring some cash. A lot of stalls took card, but many didn't. We always asked if they took card to try and conserve our cash for stalls that didn't take card. There are ATMs at pretty much every market, but we didn't use them since we were worried about high fees. While many markets look especially magical at night, they can also be more crowded then. Visiting during the day or right at dusk can help avoid some of the crowds, and also visiting on a weekday over a weekend helps as well. It gets dark in Vienna early during the winter, around 4 p.m., and it gets cold, so be prepared with gloves, hats, scarves, and the like. Of course, you can always warm up with a hot drink and a stroll through the stands. I hope you found this guide helpful, and be sure to subscribe for another video on top sights to see in Vienna. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Out of this place to forget you're not